What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D, and once again, I want to thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. We're over 90,000 subscribers, on the road to 100,000 subscribers. So please keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. I really do appreciate you guys. So listen, I promise you guys, one thing you're always going to get from my channel is honesty. You're going to always get me unrelentlessly, unapologetically calling out bullshit. So when I come across one of these bootlicking ass sellouts, these Blexit types, these wannabe carbon copies of Candace Owens, I am always going to call it out because it pisses me off so much. These people only exist because they put a blackface on Republican right-wing racism. They regurgitate their talking points because they want to be elevated to the highest level of black sellouts in the Republican Party. This stuff pisses me off so much, and I want to break it down for you and go through these talking points and point out just how much these people are regurgitating right-wing bullshit just so they can get a pat on the back of the head and a "you're a good boy" from racist Republicans.
The coddling is for the white boys. That's what's happening right now. I am tired of the white tears. We right now have a white supremacist that is sitting in the White House. He is backed up by other white supremacists.
I want y'all to imagine for a second if a white congressman or woman got on TV and started talking about black tears the way she's talking about white tears.
Imagine for a second. We don't even have to imagine. I can go back a couple of weeks and I can see a white president and a white vice president blaming black people for an airplane crash when black people had nothing to do with it. I can see a white president and a white vice president wishing they could find one black person who worked on either one of those planes so that they could say, aha, look, we told you so. It's because of a black DEI hire. I can find a white president and a white vice president completely silent once they found out black people had nothing to do with that airplane crash. We don't have to imagine. We have seen white congressmen and white congresswomen in the Republican Party call accomplished black people DEI hires just because they don't like them. I can go back a couple of months to find white people in Donald Trump's circle pontificating over being afraid to get on an airplane if there's a black pilot because black pilots aren't as competent as white pilots. I can go back a couple of months to see white congressmen and white congresswomen calling a black mayor a DEI hire even though he was voted in by over 75% of the population in his city. Can you imagine? The fuck are you talking about, sellout? We don't have to imagine. The racism is right in front of your face, coming from people you profess your love for every single day.
It's totally disgusting. See, if Democrats couldn't race hustle and constantly divide Americans by race, they would be out of a job. They have to keep us fighting in order to stay in positions of power. Because if we realized how similar we are and how much we have in common, there wouldn't be as much of us fighting amongst each other.
And this is exactly what I mean by regurgitating their racist talking points. Calling Democrats race hustlers is one of the oldest tricks in the book. Calling out racism is not being a race hustler, it's being an anti-racist, which this dude would be if it wasn't for him trying his hardest to reach Candace Owens' level of bootlicking. And let me be clear here, we are not that similar. Some of us believe in diversity, equity, inclusion, equality, and anti-racism. Others like you believe in exclusion, hate, bigotry, and buck dancing. I'm so tired of people saying that if we all realize how similar we are, we would blah, blah, blah. If we were similar, there would be no racism. There would be no hate. There would be no white president and white vice president, white congresswoman and white congressman calling accomplished black people DEI hires in place of calling them the N-word because that is more digestible than just saying the N-word. We know it, you know it, but you're afraid to say it because, again, it doesn't get you to your ultimate goal, which is chief ass kisser for your Lord and Savior Donald Trump. But go on. Prove me right.
And we would start to look at the actual problems, which is their policies. See, it's not Trump who's been in power in the inner city for decades. It's Democrats. It's not Trump who's allowed crime and poverty to run rampant in the inner city. It's Democrats.
Oh my God, Republican and conservative policies, particularly those focused on deregulation, industrial downsizing, and reducing social welfare programs, have contributed to the economic decline in inner cities. These policies have led to job losses, inadequate access to to education and limited economic opportunities, creating a cycle of poverty. As a result, many inner city neighborhoods face high levels of crime, a consequence of systemic neglect and a lack of resources that could offer a pathway out of poverty. Again, these are things he knows, but he pretends he doesn't because he has decided selling out is more profitable than being honest.
See, it's not Trump who put Planned Parenthood in our communities, leading to the termination of millions of babies that look like me.
And there it is, the old Planned Parenthood bait and switch. You see, bringing up Planned Parenthood in the black community is often used as a diversionary tactic to deflect from the real issues facing the black community, which are rooted in Republican policies. They love bringing up abortion and framing it as murder because this gets the low IQ fake Christians excited. He knows abortion is a medical procedure and it is not used as birth control, but again, this is a distraction that they think is brilliant, but it isn't.
It's the Democrats. See, it's not Trump that destroyed the nuclear family within our communities. That'd be the Democrats.
You know, myself, my aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings who are all raising our families in a safe, loving environment are getting pretty damn tired of these bootlicking sellouts speaking on shit they know nothing about. And you know, when they say destroyed the nuclear family, they're being bigots about the LGBTQIA plus community without saying it. But you know what bothers me the most about black conservatives talking about the black community is that they aren't in the black community discussing solutions. They're in white communities saying these things for appeasement. They're the black people telling black jokes to white audiences because being laughed at in the room to them is better than not being in the room at all. And you see, this is the mind of a sellout.
And if we want to go back to the roots, see, it's not Trump who's a part of the party of the Klan, the party of Jim Crow, the party that didn't want black people to have civil rights, the party that wanted to continue slavery. No, that would be the Democrats. The oppression is not coming from Trump. It's coming from the same party it's been coming from. It's the same party that uses the media to push their agenda in order to divide us by race. They're even using the public education system to do the same thing. It's totally demonic. The Americans are waking up and starting to see through this propaganda. The gig is up. It's over.
Dude, right now you're buck dancing for a party that has white supremacists marching the streets in support of it. You're buck dancing for a party that has an unelected billionaire who did a Yahtzee salute at one of their rallies. You're purposely misrepresenting the history of conservatives and their support for white supremacy and black oppression for clout. For any Republican that wants to regurgitate this bullshit and completely misrepresent history, ask yourself, why do white supremacists today and white racists today enthusiastically support Republicans and Donald Trump? Why did they celebrate Donald Trump's victory? Black man, ask yourself, if this party cared about you, why do the people who hate you celebrate their victories? This is asinine and embarrassing, and I know it means nothing to you because your family hates you. People who look like you hate you. I'm sure you don't care that another one of us hates you as well. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.